Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. No theme music today. Sammy's sleeping. Um, Went into work on my day off. I did 6 hours, not a full shift, but usually if I go in on a day off, I'll usually do 6 or 7 hours. I try to get out at least an hour early, so that way it gives me a little extra hour at home to have some fun, whether it be reading or podcasting, playing video games, whatever. Currently, I'm reading Hour of the Pumpkin Queen. That one's pretty good. I've read the first one of it. It's I can't remember what the first one was called, but it was pretty good. It was like a sequel to Nightmare Before Christmas. So this is the third, I guess, story. Because they did make a Nightmare Before Christmas novel of the movie too. So I'd like to pick it up one day. That way I can have all three books, the trilogy. So work was pretty chill. We got a walkthrough this week. So they needed all the help they could get with conditioning, making the store look pretty and all that stuff. Sorry the episode I put out yesterday was a little bit of a downer. With the whole Thomas Massie stuff. I've been looking into it a little bit, and it looks like there might have been some voter fraud. Which, I mean, are we surprised? I reported on it the whole time with the Biden election with Trump, how it was stolen, and pretty much showed evidence of how it was stolen throughout the entire time. That whole debacle. So, I mean, if they steal elections and they get away with it, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Kennedy used the mafia to steal his election. Um, there was literally a guest that came on tinfoil hat, um, and he had went through. He wrote a book on it and literally went through and showed how elections have been stolen literally since the 1700s. What was the country founded in 1776? So 17 and 1800s, all the way back then, they were stealing elections. So it's nothing new, unfortunately. Everyone likes to cite the whole George Bush, Al Gore election, um, which I get it because that's like the first time within my generation that an election was stolen. Um, so of course that's what's usually cited most. But it's been going on forever. Um, yeah, there's a conspiracy that's one of the reasons Edgar Allan Poe got killed was they were killing people who didn't vote certain ways. That's one of the conspiracies. Another one is that the Freemasons killed him because I guess Poe was in part of the anti-Mason party. Um, he wrote a story, The Cask of Amontillado. Um, I actually have a audio recording of it somewhere. I need to publish it if I can even find it. It was so many years ago on old computers. I don't even know if it's even out there still. Um, but yeah, I don't mind getting into the anomalies a little bit. Like for one, I didn't know this, but apparently, um, this Gallrein guy was taking APAC money, like millions of dollars worth. People are saying it's that Adelson chick, which she put millions of dollars into when Trump was running. She's like a high up Jew for Israel. Um, Fucking nuts. This Gallrein dude, another thing too, apparently he missed out on 8 debates. He did not debate Massie, not once. He hasn't done really any interviews. Half of the voters don't even know who this guy is. He won through a shit ton of mail-in ballots, which, if you watch 1,000 Mules or if you even just go and listen to older episodes when I covered all the voter fraud with the Biden versus Trump race. That's how we need to get rid of mail-in ballots, for one. If you can't make it up to the place to fucking vote, then I don't know what to tell you. Well, and there's going to be people who are like, well, what about handicapped people? And it's like, they literally have, like, people, there's literal programs that will pick you up and take you to the mail-in, or not the mail-in, the voting places and shit. Like, there's programs out there for that shit, you know? And even then, it's like, okay, if you have a reason to do a mail-in ballot, that's fine. I'm cool with that. If you're, like, sick and you don't want to go out and get other people sick, or you have an autoimmune deficiency and you can't be around people, if you have a physical disability, I'm fine with that. But to just make it to where anyone can just do a mail-in ballot is just, that's rubbish, you know? I think there should be restrictions on it as far as, like, you have to have a reason to do a mail-in ballot. They showed his after party when Gallrein won, and there's like 10 people in this tiny ass little bar, like, cheering. It's like, I don't know. The whole thing is fucking weird. And I mean, I hate to do it, but it's like everyone is noticing, like, dude, this shit looks rigged as fuck, you know? Basically, Israel put in Gallrein, you know? Like, the Republic has been infiltrated. Everyone besides Massie and, like, a few other politicians, like a handful of politicians, they're all taking AIPAC money. We are literally the United States of Israel at this point, dude. But yeah, so I wasn't trying to bum y'all out with last episode, but I wanted to talk about it. It was something that was bugging me, and it was current news. But that's my thoughts. It's starting to look like it's fucking rigged, like a stolen election. But anyways, let's get on with another current story that's going on right now. So this was interesting and odd. A radio station apologized after accidentally announcing the death of King Charles. This happened today. 20 hours ago. It's 4 a.m. now. So, to me, I consider this nighttime. Even though it's 4 a.m. So listen to this shit. This is fucking bizarre. I remember there was a conspiracy that happened couple years back, and it was right before the Queen had died. A lot of people had thought that she was already dead. I didn't put much credence into it just because, look, man, I used to be a Q-tard. I told you guys that. I fell for the psyop, but I learned pretty quick. I was a Q-tard for about a year, and then I pretty much picked up on it, was like, no, this is fucking, it's a cult, it's a psyop, this is literally Operation Trust, which I believe we did a whole episode on Operation Trust, so go check that out if you don't know what it is. It's hard to remember what I've done and what I haven't covered, because we've done almost 700 episodes now. Episode 700 is coming up, by the way. I'm going to try to make it a special episode. Every 100 episodes, I usually have Sam on the podcast, and we make it like a special episode. But there was this weird thing that happened a couple years back, that it was King Charles, and this was before the Queen had died. They took off the seal from Buckingham Palace. It was all boarded up and blacked out, and it was really strange. So all the QAnon people were like, oh, the Queen's been executed in Guantanamo Bay, and trust the plan, and all this bullshit. But it was strange, though. They did do a funeral procession in the streets, like a royal funeral procession. And like, even the people in England were like, they know what a royal funeral procession looks like when a royalty dies, and they're like, this is fucking weird. I don't know. the whole thing was strange. But this happened yesterday. So a UK radio station has apologized to Britain's King Charles III and its listener after accidentally and incorrectly announcing the death of the monarch. By the way, we covered King Charles literally, shit, it was like 2 episodes ago. Yeah, we just covered King Charles, about him reinstating digital ID. Go check that episode out, his most recent 2026 King's Speech. It's fucked up shit. There's a whole playlist of digital ID on YouTube. Go check it out. We've been covering it throughout the years, man. Quote, due to a computer error at our main studio, the death of a monarch procedure, which all UK stations hold in readiness, while hoping not to require, was accidentally activated on Tuesday afternoon, May 19th. So, I was going through Minutes of Horror, put out a post on YouTube earlier today. Go check his channel out. Tell him who sent you. Maybe he'll give me a shout out one day. I've given him 1 billion. Someone in the comment section of his post was saying like, oh, it was probably pre-recorded and what happened was somebody accidentally hit it. And it makes sense that they would pre-record all this shit. So like here in the US, it's actually pretty creepy. CNN, Ted Turner, speak of the devil, he died shit like last week or something. We covered his death in a previous episode here recently. Go check that episode out. He had CNN had made a special video for the apocalypse. I kid you not. It's you can actually find it on YouTube. It's a pre-recorded video that got leaked. The CNN will play during the apocalypse, and it's like a picture of the White House, and there's a band in front of the White House playing the Star Spangled Banner, or taps, or it was something real fucking creepy, and the American flags waving and shit. It's literally, if the apocalypse ever happens, like nuclear war or a meteor or alien invasion, like that's what they will play on CNN. It's real fucking dark and real eerie. Go check it out, man. It's creepy as fuck, dude. So a lot of these people have pre-recorded either radio broadcast or video broadcast as far as like mainstream television. The guy was saying too that a lot of these people pre-record and pre-film documentaries about their lives before their deaths. And if you look at King Charles, man, he ain't doing too hot. Like he's got like the whole purple hands and swollen sausage fingers. I don't know if that's from alcoholism or what. I don't know. I mean, to me, they're all fucking reptilians. So, mistakenly announcing that His Majesty the King had passed away, the station manager for Radio Gallrein, Peter Moore, said in a statement shared on social media Wednesday. Radio Gallrein then fell silent, as would be required, which alerted us to restore programming and issue an on-air apology, he continued. Gallrein has been pleased to broadcast Her Majesty the Queen's and now the King's Christmas message, and we hope to do so for many years to come. Which, that was really weird. The last time the Queen did a Christmas message, that was that really creepy ass one where she said, hope y'all enjoy your last Christmas. And then she like died like next year or something. It was really fucking weird. And all the Q-tards were getting into that and shit. But even if you aren't a Q-tard, it was strange, you know. We apologize to His Majesty the King and to our listeners for any distress caused, the statement concluded. Established in 1964, Radio Gallrein broadcast in multiple countries, including Belgium and the Netherlands, and is available online worldwide. On the day of the erroneous announcement, King Charles and Queen Camilla were in Belfast, Northern Ireland. The 77-year-old and his wife joined a cultural celebration at Thompson Dock, the dry ground where the Titanic stood before its maiden voyage. Buckingham Palace said in a statement Tuesday. That is true, ain't it? It left to New York, not from New York. I always forget that shit. I mean, I don't forget it because, like, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I forget it sometimes, but I don't forget it because, like, it's one of those things that are, like, really popular as far as American history. But yeah, I guess it did leave from Ireland to the United States. Maiden voyage. Sorry, that's just, I don't know. My mom was a big Titanic nerd. She's like basically kind of like a rogue historian of Titanic history. She would when the movie was coming out, she became obsessed with it. Like, we ended up going to a Titanic museum down in Florida. It was actually pretty cool. Like, there's this room with a gigantic iceberg. You get to touch it and shit and see how cold it was, and they actually have the room set to as cold as it would have been. It was really neat, actually. I don't even know if it's still there. It was in Orlando, but there they met performers and organizers preparing for the globally recognized traditional Irish music festival, Flead Ceol na Harin, taking place in August. It's obviously Gaelic. I probably butchered it, even though I am Irish, but I probably still fucking butchered it. I can speak a little bit of Gaelic, but it is fucking hard, man. The royals also visited Titanic distillers and learned about whiskey making before the king visited a local charity providing and promoting wider access to skills for digital careers, according to the palace. So there he goes, pushing that whole digital AI, digital ID, all that fucking Illuminati and Antichrist bullshit. Great reset. It's funny, I was just talking about he might have a drinking problem, about how his fingers are so swollen, and here he is visiting whiskey distillers. And he was trying it out. The king and queen later met with the First Minister and Deputy First Minister of Northern Ireland at Hillsborough Castle. Well, that's interesting, because I'm from Florida. We got a Hillsborough County down in Florida. I didn't realize it's an Irish name, A royal residence near Belfast. King Charles, who revealed in February 2024 that he had been diagnosed with cancer, shared in a video message in December that his cancer treatment would be reduced this year, as he had been responding well to the treatment. So I didn't know that. I didn't realize he had cancer. Apparently if it's true, they're reducing the cancer treatment. And by the way, dude, you got to think, man, he's getting the best treatment there is. It's got to be something like fucking baby's blood or adrenochrome or something. Stem cells and shit. Soma, like we talked about in that last Mirror D80s interview. In the past month, he has visited New York and Washington, D.C., where he addressed Congress to mark 250th anniversary of U.S. independence. The king also addressed the U.K. Parliament last week, which we covered that, the King's Speech. Go check that episode out. Digital ID. So, we got time for one more story. This one's a little bit of a blue pill story. But I found it interesting because me and my wife were literally just talking about this place like yesterday or the day before. It's kind of crazy, so hang on just a second. So, in Las Vegas, there's a huge controversial restaurant called Heart Attack Grill. And me and my wife, we've we're big foodies. We like to travel. We like to see new things. We always like to explore. Um, and one of the places we've always wanted to go to was Heart Attack Grill. Um, it has this. It's like literally kind of like a tourist trap, but I know it's a tourist trap, but it's always been on my bucket list, so it kind of bums me out that it's shutting down. So the whole point of it is it's literally American as hell. They serve burgers, French fries, steaks, like all sorts of just unhealthy Americana food. Um, and it's in Las Vegas. So Las Vegas within itself is a tourist trap town. Um, it's cool because they actually have like a scale out front. Um, and if you weigh, I think it's over like 350 pounds, you get to eat for free. The controversy was that they were um, promoting obesity and like unhealthy decisions. Obviously, I'm a skinny dude. My wife, she's normal weight. Um, yeah, so like it would be fun for us to go to just for shits and giggles, kind of like Dick's Last Resort. That'd be a cool one too. Um, but so you go, you get weighed, and like if you're under that weight, you have to pay for your meal. They had this challenge, which is like this gigantic burger. It's got like it's got like 6 or 7 patties in it, like 6 or 7 slices of cheese. It is ridiculous. Just honestly, dude, YouTube, Heart Attack Grill, and just watch a couple videos on it. It's kind of neat. It looks fun, but apparently it's shutting down after 20 years. So controversial. Oh, another thing too, like when you go in, you have to wear a doctor, or not a doctor, but a patient's gown. And if you don't finish this challenge of eating this burger, they have nurses that are the waitresses, and they literally make you put your hands on these bars in front of the entire restaurant, and they whip you with a paddle. It's a ridiculous restaurant, but it looked fun as hell. So, controversial Las Vegas restaurant Heart Attack Grill shuts down after 20 years. Heart Attack Grill was known for its controversial bypass burgers and hospital theme. A controversial Las Vegas restaurant is shutting its doors. The Heart Attack Grill, known for its controversial features. Jesus Christ, how many times are you going to say controversial in this article? This has to be written by a fucking AI. It says it's still written by an actual person, but how much you want to bet this is AI? Or they just suck at journalism. Sorry, I used to be a journalist, so I kind of nitpick when I see shit like this. She literally said controversial 4 fucking times, and the article is not even through the first paragraph yet. So, like its hospital theme, its bypass burger, and allowing people of over 350 pounds to eat for free, has shut down after 21 years. Owner John Basso confirmed. Basso said in an email that he chose to close the restaurant as a statement against the corporate entity's bleeding tourists dry. I did watch like a little video on it earlier. That's why I wanted to cover it, just for fun. Because he said basically just with the cost of everything, he's having to charge more and more and more, like every month, and it's gotten to the point he doesn't want to rip off the customers. So turns out this dude who's been looked at as an evil person throughout all these years in the culinary community actually has a fucking heart and doesn't want to rip his customers off. Imagine that. The controversial, I swear to God, if this person says controversial one more time. The controversial restaurant allowed those over 350 pounds to eat unlimited free food after weighing themselves on an electric cattle scale in front of the restaurant crowd. It's ridiculous, I told you guys. It also served bypass burger variations containing up to 4 pounds of beef. A 4-pound fucking burger, dude. I can't even finish like a half-pound burger or 3/4 pound, you know. As well as flatliner fries, Lucky Strike cigarettes, and alcohol. I didn't know they had Lucky Strike cigarettes too. So this place is just unhealthy as fuck. I didn't know the cigarette part. That's insane. That's actually one of my favorite cigarette brands when I do buy cigarettes. It's hilarious. It's dark, but people will undoubtedly find it hilarious that the villain who spent years playfully trying to make them fat has suddenly developed a conscience about robbing them of their hard-earned money, Bezos said. But while the Heart Attack Grill was always a tongue-in-cheek exaggeration of dietary indulgence, there is a massive line between serving up a comedic portion of burgers and participating in the systematic price gouging of the middle class, he said. He accused Las Vegas tourist economy of becoming a quote-unquote machine designed to overcharge hardworking people for absolutely everything. He's not wrong there. Like I said, the whole town is a tourist trap. People say, oh, don't go here, it's a tourist trap. Don't go here, it's a tourist trap. It's literally, it's kind of like Pigeon Forge or fucking Orlando. The entire town is a tourist trap, you know? Especially Vegas, it's fucking owned by the mob and shit. Or at least it used to be. I don't know if it still is, but I refuse to let my brand become another corporate trap that strips away the great affordable American tradition of the Las Vegas vacation, he said. I don't ever recall Las Vegas ever being an affordable American tradition of vacation. I'm sorry, I have to disagree with them on that. I've literally stayed away from Vegas because I knew that it would cost like out the wazoo. Yeah, like the most touristy thing that I've done within the past like 10 years with my current wife was like Pigeon Forge, you know. Basso said he initially opened the restaurant as an act of moral rebellion in 2005 against corporate America. So he's like kind of punk rock attitude. He added that he and his truly wonderful staff have worked to keep the restaurant small and real rather than turning it into a chain, which it was pretty cool because it was like the one location. It's cool, but at the same time, it does suck that it hadn't become a chain because I would have loved to have seen it and visited it, maybe a state that's closer, you know. One day I am, like I said, I'm going to go to Dick's last resort, though. And I want to go to a Hooters, too. Hooters is shutting down, and I still need to go to a Hooters before they shut down completely, but I don't have a car, you know. And I know my money is going to go towards a car here recently, so. A scathing letter on the restaurant's website accused major casinos of pricing average people out of the quintessential American experience of affordable indulgence. So, I mean, I kind of like this guy. I ain't gonna lie, dude. I kind of liked him watching old documentaries about him just because he's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do what I want, you know? But it sounds like he has a fucking soul, which is cool. The soul of Las Vegas has been replaced by corporate greed, he continued. Our core value, eat big and laugh loud, no longer fits a city peddling $40 artisanal avocado toast, it continued, adding that its emphasis on heavy-duty calories is now considered gauche in Las Vegas. We are proud of our 21-year impact on the America's waistline. The obesity rate has risen from 30% in 2005 to nearly 45% today. And we pat ourselves on the back for leading the charge, he said. That's fucking awesome. Heart Attack Grill has previously faced public controversy as ABC News reported in 2012 that the restaurant's unofficial spokesperson who ate at the restaurant every day died after suffering a heart attack. So that's a little dark. But yeah, there you go. Perhaps some voter fraud. We actually did 3 stories today. That's unusual for this channel. Possible voter fraud with the Massie Gallrein election. King Charles radio station saying he's dead when he's supposedly not. Who knows? I don't know. And Heart Attack Grill shutting down. So I hope y'all enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe if you'd like to donate to the channel. I have a Buy Me a Coffee account set up in the link below. I will send you a bumper sticker and a signed bookmark. I will sign the back. But yeah, y'all have a good day.